Are you trying to be your kid's best friend? Hey, and welcome back to Super Mom Knows Best. I'm Erin. Today we're going to talk about the importance of being your kid's best friend versus the importance of being a good parent. I know a lot of people in my generation who struggle with this because they think if they're not their kid's best friend, then they're not the cool parent. I, for one, have never had that kind of problem because I was a teacher for so many years before I had my boys. I always said, my kids are screwed. I've seen it and I've heard the excuses and I know what kids are capable of and what goes on in their little minds. I knew I was going to be able to catch things before they thought it, tried it, or did it. And most of the times I have been successful. But on the other hand, I surprise my boys every once in a while, especially my oldest. He's never really sure how I'm going to react to a situation. Even though I tell him, no matter what you do or say, I'm still going to be in your corner and I still love you. Sometimes he still thinks I'm going to yell and be upset with him and maybe even stop loving him when he messes up. But yet he finds if he comes to me and we have a reasonable conversation about whatever has taken place, he's usually fine. I've seen it time and time again. The cool parent, the one who doesn't really discipline their child and just lets them do whatever they want. And that's why we're having the problems these days of kids not listening to their teachers because they think they don't have to listen to mom and dad. So why do I need to listen to Miss Smith in the classroom? See, that level of disrespect trickles down throughout their day and into their life. My little one has always told me anytime anybody does or says anything that would get them in trouble at school, he is my absolute rule follower, and he doesn't understand why kids would choose to not follow the rules and get in trouble. And so when he says, I can't believe they talked to Miss Smith that way. How could they treat her that way? She's so sweet and wonderful. And I said, do you ever stop to think for a moment that that's maybe how they talk to mom and dad? It baffles him that somebody would not be respectful to an adult. And I think that's the problem. Kids don't get that sense of being baffled on why somebody would choose to be disrespectful. A lot of times we have the trope of the cool parent and the disciplined parent. And when you want the fun parent to tell you yes to something, well, then you don't go to the one who usually tells you no. And a lot of times I have found that that's the parent who says no just because they can. See, that is also a dangerous trap to fall into. You can't build any type of relationship and attempt to be the cool parent if you're always saying no just because you're in the position to do so. We have a rule in this house. If you do what is asked of you, when it is asked of you, we have no problems and we will have mutual respect. People hear that and they go, yeah, right, like your kid's going to drop everything and do what is asked. And to that I say, yeah, they do all the time. So then when it becomes Friday night and they go, hey, can we have pizza for dinner tonight? I go, that is not an unreasonable request and you have done all your chores and everything that has been asked of you all week? Absolutely. You can be the cool parent and have the rules. My favorite teacher in elementary school used to tell us all the time, I am not here to be your friend. If I wanted friends, I picked the wrong job. I am here to make sure that you do what is right and that you are learning and you are growing as a person. I was lucky enough to have her for 2 school years. It's a complicated story of how my school system worked growing up. But I had her for 4th and 6th grade, and she was the best. I still talk to her. And she taught me a lot, not only about how to be a good teacher, but how to be a good person, which then translates into being a good parent. I didn't have my kids because I needed a friend. I had my kids because I wanted to pass along our family knowledge and history so our family could continue to grow. The whole purpose is to teach the generation that is coming behind you to be better and to grow and succeed from the generations that came before. And I think that's where we get lost. On my husband's side of the family, they all have the same name, all the way down from the first to the fourth. And the one thing each one who has carried this name has done has strived to be more successful than the one who came before, as a way to honor the one who came before. You've taught me so well, Dad, that I will be more successful than you, so I can take care of you. It's a sign of respect. And I think people forget that. Sure, you can be your kid's best friend and confidant, and they can come to you and tell you all about how they had a great date on Saturday night, or down to, I got a speeding ticket, I got into a wreck. You want that relationship, but at the same time, you have to keep that boundary of, I'm your parent and I love you no matter what. I will always be in your corner, but I'm your parent first and your friend second. I'm always going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to always do what I think is right for you. Just because you think it's a great idea to go by yourself, to go to downtown to see a concert alone because you couldn't find anybody to go with you, doesn't mean I'm going to let you buy that concert ticket. You may be mad at me today, but you will thank me tomorrow. So that's just my 2 cents for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you like what you heard. Leave me a comment, hit the share, hit the subscribe, help my channel grow, and I'll see you next time.